welcome to this week's edition of Healing Conversations with Coach V. I'm Coach V, certified life coach and personal growth expert with SVM Initiatives, LLC. Don't forget to find us on Facebook and like us at SVM Initiatives, LLC, and also Healing Conversations with Coach V. And again, I want to give a huge thank you to all of the supporters on YouTube at Healing Conversations with Coach V. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Okay, so now all the business stuff is out the way. Y'all know every week I have like a dynamite guest who's sharing either a personal healing journey or service that have been birthed from a horrible life experience that they chose to heal from. Well, today is no different, but we're doing it for the culture today. You hear me? So today my special guest is Akosua Akoben. Yes, okay, founder of W.A.R Theater. And she is going to talk to us today about her life-changing trip to the motherland, to Ghana, and the things that she learned about herself, as well as what she learned about community and what it means to support one another, and how, in effect, she can bring that knowledge back and help heal the community or the culture. She's also going to talk to us about W.A.R Theater and what it means, because I didn't want to butcher the acronym, so she's going to tell us what it means and talk about the event that just happened that you probably missed. So we want to make sure that you are present and know in advance when the next one's coming up. So without further ado, Akosua Akoben, welcome to the space.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be
Did I say
here.
your name right?
Yes, you did.
Okay. I've been practicing. So as I mentioned, there's so many things you're going to share with us today and talk about. However, I would like for you, please, to just introduce yourself to the people. Some people know you, some people don't. So we got to make sure everybody on the same page. So who is Akosua?
All right. Like she said, I'm Akosua Akoben, born and raised right here in Cincinnati. I'm a native of Madisonville.
Okay, Manville.
Yes.
Okay, all
and
right.
a big red.
All right, go Hughes. Okay.
And I'm the founder of W.A.R Theater, which is Worldwide African Revolutionary Theater. It is a Pan-African theater project that was founded here in Cincinnati in 2016, April 30th.
Okay, so you got an anniversary coming up.
Yeah.
Okay, well, happy anniversary.
Thank you. Thank you. And well, being here in Cincinnati, there's a lot of talent and everything here, and a lot of culture as far as theater and things like that. I was lucky enough at Hughes to be a part of the Fine Arts Club, so that's where I got my interest into theater, was from there. And I saw that not a lot of people are familiar with the theaters that exist here in the city.
True.
That the people that have the talent are not really being put out there beyond Cincinnati, unless they leave the city. And to be honest, the reason why I got into fine arts is because I really had an issue with talking in front of people. Very shy, very introverted.
I don't believe that.
I mean, it's really true.
And
it really did help to bring me out. So I feel like in many aspects, theater is a way for you to be able to present yourself in front of people, to be able to connect with people, and also to explore parts of you. In addition to the culture. So W.A.R Theater is here to basically connect people with the culture. Our African culture, also our culture here, as living here in the United States. And just connect us and relate us to people all over the world.
So how did W.A.R Theater get started? Like what propelled you in that direction? Tell us a little background about you.
Okay, well, I was a student at NKU, it seems like ages ago, 2000, all the way up into 2008.
Yeah, that's a decade ago, so that's ages.
So it was ages ago. And I was at the university studying sociology. And I had an interest or a minor in theater. And what I found there is that a lot of the casting is based on the population of the school. So if there's a production going on, most likely if you're Black or other, you might not be casted. So it was really hard for students on the campus to get acknowledgement or any plays or any experience on the campus, so they had to do a lot of work outside.
Okay.
My interest was specifically at the time in dance.
Okay.
And I learned that there was a course teaching African dance.
Mm-hmm.
I had never had an African dance class, knew anyone that did it,
Mm-hmm.
and I learned that there's like a huge culture of it right here in Cincinnati. Didn't know
Yeah.
anything about it.
Yeah.
So I took the class. It was amazing because I assumed I was just learning a
Mm-hmm.
dance
Mm-hmm.
genre.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, not only was I learning a genre, but I was also learning about my culture
Okay.
and how connected I am to it. And after I took the class, I learned they were going to use the course as an elective, meaning that you had to have prerequisites or have taken classes in dance before you could take
In order
it.
to get into
So,
that class. Wow. Okay.
In other words, if you weren't a dance major or student, you couldn't take the class.
Okay.
So I started getting involved because I was shy in student
You're
organizations.
going to keep trying to sell me that, huh? Going to keep trying to sell me the
I
shyness.
got
Okay.
involved on campus and was forced into a leadership position with an organization called STAR.
Okay.
It's the first organization I joined. I met wonderful people in it, and our advocacy was in, keeping the cultural programs alive, and
Mhm.
also dealing with retention of African American students, because at that
Mhm,
school
mhm.
people were leaving
Mhm.
before they graduated.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So basically, when we heard about the class not being offered anymore for just general studies, we advocated that they change the policy.
Okay.
And they did. And so from there, there was a study abroad program that was created to connect African American students here
Okay.
to Ghanaians in Ghana.
Okay.
So it was called African American and Ghanaian Connection. It was a 3-week course to Ghana, and one of my friends that I met in the African Dance Club, and we danced all over the city of Cincinnati to
Wow.
raise money to go and study
Okay.
abroad there for 3 weeks. So it was
Okay.
about $5,000 that we raised
But you got it.
per person. So
Wow.
that's total like $10,000 that we raised.
Okay.
And when we got there, it was way more than I expected. I just wanted to share dance with other people, and take some classes and learn. But it was beyond that. When we got there, we felt that it was a part of us
Okay.
that
okay.
we had been disconnected from for so long, and now we had joined with that connection
Through dance.
So
So before you get into all the juicy details about your trip to Ghana, I want to just back up a little bit. You had made a reference to any type of productions or theater productions happening on campus. The casting was pretty much based upon the students, the ratio of particular students at the school, which meant that minority students weren't cast as often, as you mentioned, or they had to go outside of campus to get cast for particular things. Experiencing that on campus, obviously it lit a fire some way, because you started advocating and pushing, for that African dance class to be more than just an elective, and then taking it abroad, as you mentioned. But on campus at that moment, what was going through your mind to make you feel like, nah, this ain't right? Let me do my part, because we got some talent here and we're being overlooked. What space were you in at that point to step up?
it actually was something that I felt, being at a predominantly white university in the first place. You kind of felt like an outcast anyway. All your classes, you were there alone. And that was the first class, African dance class, was the first cultural class that I ever took, that I felt like I was gaining something besides the discipline out of it. And I just felt like everybody should have that experience. Even if you're not dancing, there's some kind of art, which I feel is something everybody's connected to, even if someone says, I'm not an artist. But I felt that it was a need for everybody to experience something like that. So what I felt at the time was, at least people should have access to this class. If this is a start, and it did. It progressed, because then people wanted more. They wanted the study abroad programs. They wanted hiring more Black faculty and staff on the campus.
See, you just started a movement on campus.
Yeah, the movement began then, and I just couldn't stop.
Okay.
So.
Do you think that all of your initiatives there may have been a form of healing to students who felt like they didn't have a voice, or they didn't see staff that looked like them, or did you feel that that was kind of a healing journey in itself?
It absolutely was.
Yeah.
Some of the theater majors that were there at the time took the class.
Okay.
And after I graduated in 2008, they were doing Colored Girls
Yeah.
on the campus. Now, this has been the second time on that campus that they did Colored Girls. The first time it was all white cast.
Wow. Now, how was it for colored girls?
Exactly.
It wasn't no colored girls.
The director was a black student and didn't have what they said anything to work with.
Wow,
so
that's
the
deep.
faculty
That's
that got hired on because of our movement on campus, he decided, I'm not going to just recruit students that are in the theater department to cast Colored Girls. I'm going to leave it open cast for anybody on campus.
Okay.
And I participated. It just so happened that I was Lady in Purple.
Okay then. Royalty, you know.
But that was my first experience with a production on campus.
Okay.
And it being an open cast where a lot of the students that were in there were like, they weren't even majoring or interested in theater. They just took the opportunity.
That's what's up. So yeah, I want to make sure everybody know, the people on Spectrum, the people on the YouTube, like I want them to really see the foundation of healing movements that come from Akosua, Akoben. I want them to make sure that they get that, right? So now please share with us your experience to Ghana.
Okay, so I got a taste of going to Ghana in 2005. It was a course for 3 weeks, and like I said, it was an amazing experience. Most of the stuff that stuck with me was my experiences that I got off the campus, off the college campuses there.
Okay.
So we went to 3 different cities: Kumasi, which was the original big city in Ghana, and now it's Accra, which is the capital now, and then we went to Cape Coast. So we went to different universities in those 3 cities.
Okay.
And while I was over there, I learned about what day names what day names were, like Monday through through Sunday, and that's how I got my name.
Okay.
So I got my name Akosua because I was born on a Sunday.
Okay.
Which that's what Akosua means, Sunday born, Sunday morning, and I brought that back to campus with me.
Wow.
And so people were like, wow, you changed your name, and now it's on your degree. That must have been really life-changing for you.
Yes.
And it was. And so other people wanted to have the experience. And I had decided then that I would go back and possibly live there.
Trying to leave us, huh?
I was trying to get up out. And on the second mission there, I had learned they had a program called Theater Development.
Okay.
And what that program does is the campus students will go into the community, and an issue, like whatever the community was going through, whether it was joblessness or issue with water, because water was an issue. It always cut off at certain times during the dry season, so people didn't have access to water in certain parts of Ghana.
So it just stopped flowing.
Yeah, because the water system was based off the dam there. So people would go without water for weeks and weeks at a time, and the students would come into these communities and discuss alternatives, ways that they can solve the problem without relying on the government to do it for them.
Empowerment.
And so when I learned about this program, I was like, we need something like that in Cincinnati.
Okay.
We need something like that. And so that's when W.A.R Theater, the baby, before it was named, that's where the concept of the street theater healing process came to me. And so in 2016, I had what I called a naming ceremony. Where I had community members that are involved in the theater or involved in performing arts in any way come together, and we would come up with a name for W.A.R.
Okay. And remind us what that stands for again.
W.A.R is Worldwide African Revolutionary Theater.
Revolutionary. I like how you Revolutionary Theater. Okay. So the baby was born. It was named.
It was named.
And then what happened?
We had a discussion about the state of Black theater in the city and what we need to do to, get students who don't have programs in their schools that deal with the fine arts, bring it to them. How do we do that? How do we bring the culture, the art culture to people
Okay.
instead of expecting them to go out and explore it. And so that was where we got the street theater concept of wherever people are, that's where we go.
We show it
Wherever
up.
the issue takes place, that's where the scene takes place.
So flash mob style
Basically.
on a bigger scale
On a
for the
bigger
culture.
For the culture.
For the culture. So when you decided, hey, this is what we're going to do, we're going to bring theater to the communities where the people are so they don't have to look for it. Because we know a lot of times when people have to search for anything, if they can't find it, they're discouraged.
Exactly.
They give up. Never mind, it ain't that important. You are essentially eliminating that excuse and saying, boom, here we go. So tell us about the first production you did.
Well, we don't necessarily do productions.
Okay.
What we do is have conversations so that we can find out what the issues are and then deal with them. So we had a 3-day event where the first day was like an artist meetup. All the performing artists, visual artists come together, and we had, some food at a local Black-owned restaurant.
We can shout them out. Where was
Just
you at?
queuing.
Just queuing in Walnut Hills. Yes.
And we ate and enjoyed a meal while we discussed what projects people were working on, how we could support each other, where else could we see them performing, what other issues are they dealing with where they don't have time to focus on their craft, and what kind of support can we be.
Okay.
And then the second day, everybody went out to Madisonville's The Madison Lounge down on Bramble.
Okay,
and we had them get up and do a small example.
Okay.
We called it the artist demo.
Okay.
Where they could do a small piece of a production they were a part of, or sing a small portion of a song because everybody got 2 minutes.
Okay.
And
that's it.
It was just amazing how much talent in each of these communities.
Yes.
The Just Queuing was in Walnut Hills, so that was beautiful with the development going on in Walnut Hills. There's a lot of new restaurants.
Over on McMillan,
and
I
things.
believe. Yeah.
Exactly. And in Madisonville, this bar, before they opened it up, it was really an eyesore to the community.
Okay.
And so having these type of events brought the owners and the community closer together.
Okay.
To see that they had community friendly events that took place there.
Right. So it's kind of like a reintroduction of them to the community in a sense.
Exactly.
Okay. Your stomping grounds.
Right.
And what was the third neighborhood you was at?
Third neighborhood is Avondale.
A1. Okay.
Right here at this location, actually, in
yeah.
the lobby, we had a State of Black Theater forum.
Okay.
Where the people that were into the craft and also people who were exploring getting into the craft had a discussion on how we can promote the performing artists here to where they can get on the level, where they can produce movies and Broadway shows that can get outside of the city.
Okay.
It's time for Cincinnati to be put on the map.
Okay, and I agree with that. So to all the artists that are watching this or listening to it on YouTube, there will be other war theater moments because you missed this one. But you can see how Akosua is doing her job to make sure that y'all know one another, to make sure that the community knows who you are. So you really want to make sure that you look out for her. She's going to tell us where we can contact her and reach her, but we got to support the movement, we got to support the culture, and we see y'all talented on the corners or your lives on Facebook, or we see that we have some talented people here in the city, so y'all got to support this sister. How can they get in touch with you?
You can reach me, I have a website, it's Akosua, Akoben.com. And also
you got to spell that.
It's
you got to spell
Akosua Akoben.com.
Yes.
So you can email me there, and also we have a W.A.R Theater YouTube channel where you could upload some of your pieces that you want to share with the world and put it on our channel so that you can get out there and also view some of the events that we had in the past and productions that we'll be having in the future there. So that's another way.
Okay then. Fancy. Okay then. So this entire experience that you've had, the W.A.R Theater that you created and founded, how would you say that helps our culture heal or can help our culture heal?
Well, I think about it like this. The arts, I look at it like blood. It's the blood that runs through the culture.
Okay.
and that the culture is actually that heartbeat.
Yes. Okay.
So it defines you, it brings you to life.
Okay.
And without the fine arts, music, and it would just be a lifeless place.
Agreed.
So it's healing in the arts. Even if you're just a spectator, if you're a participant, if you're a creator, it brings you to life. And I really encourage everybody to if you're not going to get on the stage, if you're shy or whatever, that you just use it as a form of healing or solving problems. Sometimes reality is just too overbearing for people.
Absolutely.
And I'm just looking at, I just think about what happened with the film Black Panther and how it's fictional, but people connected to it. People embraced it.
Absolutely.
So it doesn't necessarily have to be like what I'm presenting, an actual issue that we deal with and we solve the problem, but it could be something that may happen in the future or a way to prevent things from happening in the future. And then if you're innovative enough, creative enough, you can solve the problems before they ever become a problem.
I think they call it being proactive.
Proactive.
I think that's what they call that. Your trip to Ghana, personally, how did that help you heal? In what aspect, what capacity? Like, what did you learn there that you brought back in addition to theater to help heal our community?
Well, first of all, I got my name.
Of course,
it's me.
I am
of course.
Yes.
And second of all, it really helped me understand my place in the world.
Okay.
As opposed to just being Akosua, Akoben, before Desiree Favors from Madisonville, who went to NKU, that never went out of town, that never explored anything.
Right.
To Akosua Akoben, who travels the world and experiences new things and learns about other cultures and embraces the culture that she's learning about. And it was hard for me to go in the first place because I never really leave the hub.
Right.
I'm a mama's girl.
Okay.
And I worried about my mother a lot, me not being there. But I felt that once I left, my mother was able to, get things done. She didn't need me. I didn't have
She had you sweating her.
Right. I didn't have an excuse.
Right.
I really don't, and nobody does. Right. I hear a lot of people say, because I'm not wealthy, that it's hard to travel abroad.
Right.
Or people have other issues that prevent them from leaving. And what I want to say is, money is not an excuse. It's very cheap and reasonable to be able to go if you really want to. It's all about making the connections.
True.
We got the World Wide Web.
True.
The person that hosts me and my husband when we went the second and third time.
Okay.
We met online.
Wow.
We met on Facebook.
Wow.
So the world is big. Use it to your advantage. And then people who can't leave their country for whatever reason, you can still get in contact with people. You can still learn about culture without actually being there.
Without being there.
So that's the last lesson I learned was I don't have to be in Ghana to be connected to Ghana.
Because you were trying to leave us.
I was.
Okay. But then you found out something else.
I'm not saying that I'm not leaving.
So it's not off the table.
It's not off the table, but I do think broader.
Okay.
And I wouldn't mind visiting everywhere one time.
Okay. Understood.
So and that's a new perspective for me. I hear a lot of people say that people that don't have a lot of money, they pretty much they stay where they grew up all their lives and they never leave.
Yep.
How can you expect for a person to grow if they only have one perspective?
I agree. I agree.
So it's a mental health thing and it's also a physical thing because it takes a toll on you after a while feeling like you don't belong anywhere. And when I went to Ghana, I felt like I was a part of something. I was embraced. I was loved. I was called sister. I wasn't getting side-eyed looks. And people weren't, get angry with me if I said hello to them on the streets. And I learned that I can still be that beacon when I come back here, even if you don't want to say good morning or good afternoon, I can say it. I can make you uncomfortable because you didn't say it to me. Because I feel that human interactions is more important than anything else.
I'm loving this message. Like I ain't even been to Ghana yet, but I'm loving this message because I think that it's it may be considered a small thing, but I think it's very healing to be able to, whether it's a local trip or a broad trip, to be able to come back and bring and share with the people right around you what you learn. The tidbits you learn, tweak them for yourself. And as you mentioned, even just walking by and saying hello to someone. You know, some of us, you know, act like it's such a big thing, or what do you want, and what's wrong with you, what you smiling for, you know. But you made a good point that I want to make sure that everybody receives, is that I'm still gonna speak. I'm gonna speak, I'm gonna say hello, I'm gonna smile, I'm gonna flip my hair, like I'm still going to do that. And if it puts you in a space of being uncomfortable because you ain't speak back, well, so be it. You should have said hi. You know, so I think that that's really good that you were able to share that with everyone, because I know here in the States, down south, it's still kind of like that. Right. You speak, people on their porch, they wave at you, but once you get to the Natty or, you know, to any other cities, you're right, it's kind of crazy how people react and respond. When you experience encounters like that, because you're coming back all full of love and sisterhood from Ghana, but when you came back to your hometown, did you have a different vantage point or different perspective coming back from Ghana, back to Cincinnati, and seeing things with your eyes clear for the first time?
Yes, yeah. They were absolutely clear. And because I was uncomfortable in Ghana with everybody, I'm like, how do you even know me? You don't even know me. You're saying hi, are you being nosy?
Right.
You know, I had to check myself. Like, why is it that it's wrong for someone to greet me? When that is the human thing to do.
Absolutely.
So how did I become uncomfortable with that? Why all my teenage life was I too shy to interact and talk with people? And that experience, even though the last time that I went there was a little different, we stayed 4 months instead of 2.
4 months.
So we were there for 4 months.
A third of the year.
I think we got a very well-rounded perspective of people, because and then I noticed it's the same.
Wow.
So depending on where you go in the United States, you're going to get that comfort, you're going to get that openness, and depending on where you go in Ghana, you're going to get that coldness or that I don't want to speak to you, and it's a healing relationship that we can have.
Back and forth. I get it. Got chills in my spine. I told you this was going to go so quick. But can you take 20 seconds and leave the viewers on YouTube and on Spectrum an encouraging word or a lesson that you learned during this experience for you?
I believe that culture is your blood. Culture is a part of what art makes your blood. Art is your blood. And culture is the heartbeat that makes us human, keeps us alive, makes us connected. And we should not limit ourselves to our experiences. We should try to imagine and think above where we are, because the world is a big place.
It's a big place.
And we have every right to experience all those places, whether that's going or just learning more. So just open up and receive loving each other, and use your gifts and your art to change and make the world a better place.
That is from the founder of W.A.R Theater, Akosua Akoben. You can email her at www.akosuaakoben.com. You can find W.A.R Theater on the YouTube. Click and subscribe and comment. So this has been the conclusion of this episode of Healing Conversations with Coach V. That's me, Coach V, certified life coach and personal growth expert with SVM Initiatives, LLC. We'll see you next time.